Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. It's Brother Dawada coming to you with another lesson. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Much respect to the brothers laboring in this truth worldwide to wake up the elect of the children of Israel. Yeah, in this opening clip, you seen where it's a water crisis going on in California to where what the farmers can't even drink their own drinking water, man. So if you know that the farmers can't drink their own drinking water, and I think that story said like 50% of the nation's food comes from California in form of grapes, livestock, oranges, walnuts, these different essential things, and their water is contaminated. Who's doing it? We know it's Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. He's sending those plagues out on Egypt as before. And I have a story queued up that I wanna get. Then we're gonna jump right into the lesson. Salakia. Always happen when a lesson's gonna come up. So this is from Forbes.com, and it was written August 30th, 2019, a little over 2 weeks ago. It says amid Trump tariffs, farm bankruptcies, and suicide rise. Right? Let's get into the story. It says farmers are pretty much under stress all the time since many factors that affect their livelihood are outside their control. However, over the past few years, the combination of lower prices, rain that has created havoc, right, those floods, with their ability to plant, and finally, China freezing the imports of U.S. grown crops due to President Trump's tariffs has unfortunately created almost the perfect storm against them. Listen to this, man. It says, let's read that again. It says, however, over the past few years, the combination of lower prices, rain that has created havoc with their ability to plant, and finally, China freezing the imports of U.S. grown crops due to President Trump's tariffs has unfortunately created almost the perfect storm against them. Yahweh Shem Shai has created a perfect storm against who? Babylon the Great, against Egypt. He's going to smite them with plagues as before. And you know that when Yahweh Shem Shai smote Egypt the first time, man, it was a build up. You know, it kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, right? And Yahweh Shai doing the same thing here, right? It says corn and soybeans are the largest cash crop grown in the U.S. per NASS. The U.S. government, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, National Agriculture Statistics Service, in 2018, the value of corn was 51.5 billion, with the soybeans second at 39 billion. It says the next largest crop was hay, a distant third at 17 billion. For comparison, the value of apples grown in the U.S. was about 4 billion, and oranges was 2 billion. Hey man, we just seen a story about those oranges being grown in California, how they're now going to be, contaminated. They said they over pumping the well water, which is going to have arsenic in the damn in the soil, right? Let's look at this graph. It's done by year. And look at cotton on the low on the totem pole, but that was the cash cow that these devils started with when they had slavery, right? But now it's low on the totem pole, right? It says body blow to farmers after China made its announcement that it would stop importing U.S. agricultural products. American Farm Bureau Federation President Zippy Duval said China's announcement that it would not buy any agricultural products from the United States is a body blow to thousands of farmers and ranchers who are already struggling to get by. Said he added, in the last 18 months alone, farm and ranch families have dealt with plunging commodity prices, awful weather, and tariffs higher than we have seen in decades. Farm Bureau economists tell us exports to China were down by 1.3 billion during the first half of this year, right? And this is causing them to commit suicide, right? It says Duval pointed out, now we stand to lose all of what was a 9.1 billion market in 2018, which was down sharply from the 19.5 billion the U.S. farmers exported to China. Damn, look at that. From 19 to 9 that exported to China in 2017, right? Let's see. Let's get to the point of what I want. Right. Let's see. Nope. Let's keep going. Because we know it's all of the will Yahweh Shem Bashar, right? Says, let's get into this. It says, farmer loan delinquencies and bankruptcies are on the rise across the U.S., right? It says the American Farm Bureau Federation, also known as Farm Bureau, published a report in July that dove into farm loan delinquencies and bankruptcies based on Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation and U.S. court data. It says the information showed that the delinquency rates of commercial agricultural loans in both the real estate and non-real estate lending sectors are at least at a 6-year high and were above historical average of 2.1. Hey, historical, right? Call lawyer Hashem Avashai. So they got bankruptcy problems, they got tariff problems, right? And they got income problems. It says 2019 farm income should be in the bottom 25% of the past 90 years. All right, I'm gonna leave this article in the description box also, Lord willing. It says China will find other suppliers or grow more crops themselves, right? It's because of the tariffs. Let's see. Let's keep going. There we go. It says National Farmers Union have seen more farmer suicides, right? It says a Newsweek article in May detailed a Fox News interview with Patty Eldenberg, vice president of the Washington-based National Farmers Union, which represent about 200,000 U.S. farms. In the interview, she said, it has been insane. We've had a lot of farmers, a lot more bankruptcies going on, and so like a lot more farmer suicides, right? Says the scripture say that they gonna look out the windows and it's gonna be dark, and man, they don't see no hope, right? Lord willing, we gonna get that. Says these things are highlighted many of the news stories in our local news. She added, we have more commodities, more grain sitting on the ground now because we've lost huge export markets. Hey, call lawyer how about shy. Remember now, we can read in Revelations how America is the biggest commodity to what everybody is getting, making money off America, right? Says we've lost export markets that we've had for 30 years that we'll never get a chance to get back again, right? Says farmers are hopeful to get their crops in the ground this year, but really hope they have a place to sell it come fall, right? And you got soybean farmers in Minnesota have seen an increase in suicide. You know, says even corn, maize in Wisconsin is highlighting the issue. So everything is failing in right now. Says farm progress, hearing of more suicides, right? Let's take a look at this little section. Says a farm progress article in May reported that those of us in the field know we're hearing about more of them, the reporter added. I can think of 2 farmers I know who've committed suicide in the past year. Says Farm Aid saw the 30% increase in calls last year, right? Man, you tying this with the opioid plague, man. You tying this with all this, and you know it's nothing but your how about Shy, right? Let me get something first before we jump in the second Ezra. Right. Let's see, Proverbs 21:1. Says the king's heart is in the hand of the Most High. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will, right? So the Most High God is making Trump do all these tariffs. He making those farmers kill themselves, man, right? He making these farmers pump more and more groundwater. He's causing droughts to be coming into the, right? To what the point where they have contaminated drinking water, man. They can't even drink their own tap water because it's so damn contaminated, man. Right? Well, let's jump into it. This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 15. Start at the top. Behold, speak thou in the ear of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Most High, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee, right? So we see that these prophecies are faithful and true, man, because why? We went into slavery, man. It was predicted by who? Prophesied by who? Moses over 2,000 years ago. So we know these things are faithful and true. And we see them written in paper because why? We got the records right now. And we're not going to fear the imaginations against us, man. We're not going to let the incredulity of those people trouble us, right? They speak against us, right? Because they speaking against the truth, right? It says, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Most High, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hopeful works are fulfilled, right? You can read in First Maccabees how Antiochus got into power, man, how wickedness increased in the earth, man, when so-called Esau, the so-called white man, the Edomites came into power, man, and it has increased more and more to this day, right? It says, therefore saith the Most High, I will hold my tongue no more touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. Yeah, so we complain continually, man, going out on the highways and byways, doing these video epistles, man. We groaning in the spirit to the Most High, telling him to come strike this place down, come avenge us, right? Verse 9, and therefore saith the Most High, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them, right? Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, right? Pursuing to what? Revelations 11 and 18, the dead bodies shall lie in the great city. You know what I'm saying? Pursuing to Deuteronomy 28 and 68, Exodus 20 and 2, we're in the land of our captivity, right? It says, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before. That's what we seeing, man, with these farmers, man. Their eyes are darkened, man. You know what I'm saying? The grinding is ceasing, man, because they're not able to exploit those goods, right? Let's read this again. But I will smite them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before. And I will destroy all the land thereof. Okay? Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plagues, and the punishment that Yahweh shall bring upon it, right? They that till the ground shall mourn. Amen. Ain't that what we saying right here? Right? Right? It says, farm progress hearing of more suicides. Come back. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful constellation, right? So that's what the Most High God is doing, man. He's making their crops to fail, right? Let's get this right here. It's all of the Most High God. It's all of His will, man, right? This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12. We'll start at the top. It says, remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth. Yeah, so what? We're remembering the Creator right now in the days of our youth, man. Right? It says, while the evil days come not. And as the brothers go into all the time, that word evil is a compound word, Eve and ill. Eve meaning what? Salakia. Eve meaning what? Time. Ill meaning bad. A bad time, right? Says that while the evil, bad time, or the evil days come not, right? Nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them, while the sun, or the light, or the moon, or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, right? That's what's going on. This grinders going to cease, because they are few, and those that look out of windows be darkened, right? They don't see no hope, man. They don't see no hope, right? You got all these different things that the Most High is doing simultaneously to take this kingdom down, right? It says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sounding of the grinding is low. What did you got going on also? You got these workers, United Automobile workers striking against GM, right? It says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low, right? You ain't gonna have no music to comfort you in that day, man, right? Let's go here. Let's go to the book of Isaiah. The work that the Most High doing is beautiful, man, right? This is Isaiah 24 and verse 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, right? The earth is given to the hands of the wicked. So guess what? The earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws and changed the ordinance and broken the everlasting covenant, right? Therefore have the curse devoured the earth, right? They that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. Says the new wind, it's like the new wine mourneth, and the vine languish. All the merry-hearted do sigh, right? Those folks that was merry-hearted back in the 50s and 60s, they was making all their money. Guess what, man? Now they mourning, man. Right? It says, the mirth of the tabrets ceaseth. Right? It says, the noise of them that rejoice of endeth. The joy of the harp ceaseth. Right? They shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. Right? Strong drink is bitter to them, man. They drinking themselves to death, and then they offer themselves with the pistol, man. Right? Says the city of confusion is broken down, right? Babylon the Great. The city of confusion, you go into that word Babylon, I believe it means Babal, which means confusion. The city of confusion is broken down. Says every house is shut up, and no man may come in, right? There is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened, and mirth in the land is gone. Right? Ain't no joy, man. Ain't no joy going on in the midst of Babylon right now. Right? Right? Let's jump to Isaiah 19, I believe. Because ain't no joy going on right now, man. Because the Most High God is what He's doing His work on Egypt. Yahweh Shai is doing His work on Egypt. You know, first the elders and apostles, they've been prophesying this thing for over 30 years. And then the brothers that came behind them, and now us brothers is doing the same work, following the example that was set up for us. Guess what? The Most High God is going to be faithful to His word, man. Whatever He says is going to happen is going to happen. Right? And remember the story of Moses, man, when those wicked 250 men came up against him, man, the Most High God honored His word, man. He said, if you do a new thing and the ground opened up and swallowed them, guess what? It happened as soon as He got through speaking, because the Most High honored the word of the prophets, man. Right? So this is Isaiah 19 and 14. The Most High have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Right? So you got Trump putting all these damn tariffs on China, saying he gonna win, and he is really destroying the Midwest. He is really destroying their way of living, man. He's not giving them a way out. You got bankruptcies. Now if they'd have fought on these loans, man, what that's gonna do to the economy, right? What's that gonna do? You already see how they're not being able to produce any farm goods, right? They're not able to sell. They went from 9 billion, so like they went from 19.1, I believe, to 9 billion in a course of a year, right? Let's read this again. This is Isaiah 19 and 14. The Most High have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. Right? There's not going to be any work for Egypt pretty soon coming up, man. This is the Most High God work, man. Right? Let's see. Let's jump to Baruch. It's a beautiful thing, man. And we see the Most High God putting hell on these people, man. Why? Because it's time. The kingdom is over, man. It's a wrap for you, Esau. The Most High God has appointed His bounds that He cannot pass, right? This is Baruch 3 and verse 10. How happeneth it, Israel, that thou art in thine enemy's land, that thou art waxing old in a strange country, that thou art defiled with the dead, right? Yeah, defiled with the dead, man. These other nations and 2/3 of our people, man, they're the walking dead, man. that thou art counted with them that go down into the grave, right? 2/3 of our people, right? For thou hast forsaken the fountain of wisdom. For it it's like, for if thou hast walked in the way of power, thou shouldest dwell in peace forever, right? And that's 1/3 of our people coming back to the Most High God. What the scripture say, be not part of her. Players have reached up to heaven. Let me get that right quick. You got to come out of her, man. You see what's going on, right? This is Revelation 18:4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive none of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh have remembered her iniquities, right? So just like we read in 2nd Ezra, how the Most High God has how wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole land, and he have remembered it, right? It says, rejoice, so like it reward her, even as she have rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which she have filled, fill to her double, right? Says, how much have she glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart she sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow, right? That's what these people say, man. Make America great again. We're not going to see any sorrow. We're not going to be a widow, right? Says, therefore her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua who judges her, right? Strong is the Most High God who's judging her right now. And the Most High God is doing what? He's judging these people right now with all these different plagues he's sending out, man. Right? Death with despair, death with the opioids, farmers killing themselves. You know, you got mass shootings. These are all different plagues that the Most High God is sending out, man. Terrors, causing them not to be able to sell crops, causing them to have bankruptcy, causing them to go into foreclosure, you know what I'm saying? Farmer loan delinquencies, bankruptcies on the rise across the U.S., right? With that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone. Much respect to the brothers laboring in this truth worldwide to wake up the elect of the children of Israel. Lord willing, this lesson has been edifying. Till the next time I say, Shalom.